Have you tried self-inquiry and felt like you're just thinking more than ever, like you're doing it wrong, like everyone else understands it but you don't? You start asking, who am I? And within seconds, your mind is louder than before. Instead of silence, you get mental strain. Instead of clarity, you get more thinking. Why does this happen? And more importantly, how do you stop it? First, let me tell you something important. You're not failing. Here's the key. Self-inquiry turns into mental effort when you try to answer the question. Ramana Maharshi did not teach self-inquiry as a thinking exercise. He wasn't asking you to analyze yourself. He was pointing you back to the simple, non-verbal sense of I that is already here before thought. The moment you try to answer the question, you've already moved away from the source. Most people here ask, who am I? And assume it means repeat the question mentally, look for a philosophical answer, or try to understand the self conceptually. That turns self-inquiry into meditation with extra thinking. Ramana was very clear. The question is not meant to produce an answer. It is meant to turn attention back toward the one who is aware. If you're thinking, you're still in the mind. Inquiry is about tracing the thinker. It feels like effort for 3 reasons. First, we try to control the mind. The ego thinks it must do inquiry correctly, so it tightens and tries harder. But effort is still ego activity. True inquiry is more like noticing than doing. Second, we expect a big experience. People expect silence, light, bliss, something dramatic, so they push and strain. But Ramana repeatedly said, realization is simple and natural, not something you have to manufacture. If it feels forced, you're probably pushing too much. The third reason is that we are not used to non-verbal attention. We are trained to think, but not trained to rest as the sense of being. Turning attention toward the I feels unfamiliar, and unfamiliar feels like effort. But subtle does not mean wrong. Subtle usually means you're close. Let's simplify what self-inquiry actually is. When a thought appears, instead of following it, you ask, to whom does this thought arise? For example, you're sitting quietly and suddenly you think, this isn't working. Instead of analyzing that thought, you ask, to whom does this arise? The answer comes, to me. Then you gently turn attention toward that me, not as a word, not as a sentence, but as the felt sense of I am. Then you stay there, no analysis, no imagination, no repetition, just resting as the sense of being. That is inquiry. If it becomes mental, you've moved away from the source. Just gently return. Here's something subtle but important. Inquiry does require attention, but attention is not the same as tension. There is a relaxed alertness, like listening carefully but not straining. If your forehead is tight, you're doing too much. If you feel contracted, you're trying to manufacture something. Ease up. Ramana taught that the self is already realized. You are not creating it. You are simply ceasing to misidentify. That is a completely different movement. The turning point in practice comes when you stop trying to get somewhere. It stops being something you do and becomes something you notice. Instead of, I am doing self-inquiry, it becomes, there is awareness of the sense, I am. Very quiet, very ordinary, not dramatic. And strangely, effort disappears. If self-inquiry keeps turning into mental strain for you, don't worry. That's completely normal at the beginning. But there is a way out of it. If you want to stop turning this into thinking every single time, watch the core practice video next. The link is in the description. I break down exactly how to do self-inquiry without mental strain. And if this clarified something for you, subscribe. This channel is about practical self-inquiry, not philosophy.